interesting because, I mean, last year when I was going through my whole, drama of, like, in between first and second year, I was trying to figure out what to do, and a lot of people, a lot of the faculty here, in fact, have been telling me to kind of, like, get rid of, like, get out and actually see the world, sit down at a coffee shop, and then I started to realize that wherever I went, I was actually, listening to music. It was always, my iPod was always on. If I wasn't, like, watching a movie or in a piece of theater or doing something with other people, the iPod was in the ear. And so it was this idea that if I actually take media away from me, or if I take something away, that little electronic device that's actually kind of cocooning me in my own little world, that I would walk down the street without it, and all of a sudden I'd start to see things that don't normally happen, because, I mean, so much of the world is acoustic and whatnot. Like, I could actually feel myself become more, interested in the rest of the world, and there was more, it's just a lighter quality to kind of existing without having this cocoon. And then, I mean, lately I've been starting to think about the type of music that I listen to as well, because, I mean, with all of these devices that we have so much choice. And, I mean, with a hard drive, you can have, like, how many gigabytes worth of music. I started looking at my hard drive and seeing all the music that is on mine, and seeing just a lot of music that's very angsty, and realizing that, well, maybe part of that cocoon is kind of feeding itself whenever that sort of media comes in. I mean, suppose we could liken it to kind of what's going on through the news. I mean, people want to see certain things, and, like, the media wants to be able to sell certain things. Now I'm kind of off on a tangent. It strikes me odd that now we're just so dependent on these things. Like, I have my iPhone, and I'm like, yes, iPhone! And I'm like, oh, I'm constantly checking my email, constantly going, like, I'm on Facebook more often than I know. I'm like, what's going on? And it's kind of taking me away from, the outside world again, which is kind of fascinating to me, because, I mean, what happens if we do actually take that away? I mean, I know I tend to go from here to like a larger place, like a more open place where I can actually see and interact with people versus being, stuck in this. If that makes sense.
Can you think of a way, though, that the iPod, the music, instead of putting you in a cocoon, actually thrust you out into the world?
Yeah, and this is why I love my iPod, my iPhone, because I actually love this device, because it can cocoon me in, but because now it has its own camera, and it has its own video camera, and the music itself, I mean, since it has an external speaker, I can actually turn on the music to see it, to actually share with someone. Like, I've been trying to teach myself guitar, and without this little thing, I can't figure out the names of the songs. Oh, yeah, like, this is great. There's an actual application on here that allows you, called Shazam, that allows you to you turn on the application, and you tag the music, because I'm not good with names as far as music goes, or groups or whatever, but if I like a song, I can go ahead and tag it, and it will listen to the music, and then all of a sudden come up with the name of the song, hopefully if it's been recorded, and the band that it was created by, and then I can go ahead and get it. So, I mean, in some ways it's kind of really great, especially with the iTunes, being able to turn this little device from a phone into a headset, into kind of a light party mix, where you can actually just turn on my iPod from here and listen to a song right here, which is, every once in a while, it's really nice.
Can you think of any time where you said, I got to think about my life. Where is my life going? That you then go and use digital technology to help you figure that out?
Actually use texting, Skype, and instant messaging, because a lot of my friends are just across the globe. And
You know, something else about that, when you said about your life, I always use, like, we'll get on the internet and stuff for, like, certain churches and stuff. Like, some of my pastors, they'll, like, send out, you know, or be broadcast and go, like, global. And then I can watch them off of either the internet or something like that. I mean, when you said, like, life-changing and, like, sweet moments like that, but definitely music, too. And sometimes I think when we're in that cocoon of going in, not going out, not letting that light, then things like that, like music and stuff, kind of will spur and, like, get you going in kind of a more forward, like, uplifting and enlightening way. Yeah.